Hey guys, welcome to another live stream. Sorry about that. A lot of changes. I moved stuff around, and yeah, so we're gonna have a good time today, hopefully. And hope you guys stick around for it. What we have lined up is basically just the topic about making mistakes and not calling mistakes and calling discoveries, as well as a new thing that we're going to do. We're going to do Aqua evaluations. This idea I came up, of course, in my own. Sorry, the camera used to be over there. I'm looking over here. Um, of course, my ideas only come up like 20 minutes before I start streaming. So we start streaming. So yeah, so I went really quick to the Facebook group saying, "Hey, what do you guys think of this?" I got a couple mods to submit the idea of their tanks. So what we're gonna do with those is that we're gonna bring up tanks, take a look at it, see what problems they're having, as well as give some ideas about how to aquascape it or where to go from where they're at. Just some really cool ideas. So it's not only my suggestions, but it's also your suggestions as well. So it'd be kind of cool to get your guys' ideas and stuff. And of course, keep it constructive and just have fun with it. Okay. And of course, my mods in here. And I'll do this warning before my mods in here. When we do that segment, make sure that any haters or whatever, just ban them, get them out of the room. We want constructive criticisms to encourage people to do better. So anyways, we'll get to that in a moment. I'd like to welcome everyone to the live chat, and I believe we had tons of people coming in just waiting, and some other people dropped by and said, "Oh, can make the stream, but drop the like and just to say hi." So shout out to Leslie, Prolific Breed, Jack of All Fish, of course Heather in the house, one of my mods. Tampa Tom couldn't stay. He wasn't one of my mods, but he had to go work. Hey, we all have to work, right? So shout out to Tina. She had to work too. And Brian Lee, welcome. Swag Skywalker, welcome. That's really cool. I like that name. AKA Nerd Boy Aquatics. I like that. That's really cool. Martin K, hello. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Ken, welcome to the chat. Michael, welcome. Vi. How you doing? Hammy D from down the wormhole. How you doing? So great. Let's kind of just get started. By the way, if you guys have any questions or anything, just go and post it. Like always, I'll get to them when I can. I usually try to get to most of them. But hopefully, again, I'm still looking at the camera this way. It's this way now. Anyways, Pastor Road is in the house. How you doing, buddy? One of my mods here. Tracy, welcome to the chat. So, where are we? 18 viewers. Okay, so basically, I have the saying, which is, I don't make mistakes, I make discoveries, which is meaning you take your mistakes and you have to learn from them and just remember what went wrong or what you can do better with it and make a discovery out of it. And that's what it means, basically. Now, we all go through the same thing. We all go through our ups and downs. When we're beginners, we're going to make those beginner mistakes, and that's nothing wrong with it. Even experienced aquarists will make beginner mistakes, okay? Even YouTubers make beginner mistakes. It just happens because sometimes we forget. Sometimes we just don't think of it at the time or whatever. It happens. The most important thing about it is making sure that you remember what happened, how to fix it next time, and how to prevent it from happening next time. Now, I know, what's his name? Dang. I suck at names. I suck at remembering things. I think I'm losing my mind half the time. I believe it's, actually, let me look really quick. Without losing you guys here and pressing the wrong buttons, because I tend to do that. What I was talking about was, where is he? There he is. Challenge the Wild. Lately he lost his discus from somewhere unknown thing. Now discus is, people say it's hard to keep. It's not really hard to keep. You just gotta know how to deal with them. Discus is one of my favorites, and one day I'll get that 120 up and get my discus tank going. But basically they just died. Everything else in the tank was just fine. And then he was really dejected about it and stuff. And it's really, I mean, with a channel like him, of course, he's gonna have haters. He's gonna have his own haters and stuff. And people saying you should have done this, you should do that. They were pretty mean about it. But each to their own. Haters will be haters. You just ignore them. No time for the hatings. You know, you don't have the time or energy for haters. Too busy loving the lovers, as they would say. So, you know, the thing I posted with him is basically, dude, man, keep your head up, learn from this mistake, learn what happened, try to figure it out. And the next time you won't have that problem. Because he said on his videos, like, oh, I think this is the last time I'll keep my discs or whatever. I don't know if he's playing to the audience. Because, you know, when you have a YouTube channel, sometimes you got to do that. But the whole thing is you don't give up. You just got to keep on trucking. And that's how you learn. That's how you become better at something. Just giving up and quitting, assuming that you're passionate about it, it's just always the wrong thing to do. So that's what I mean by if you make a mistake, make it a discovery and learn from it. Because you learn and become stronger from discoveries than from sitting there and licking your wounds and just, you know, dwelling on that mistake. It's always hard for anything in life, honestly. So, anyways, that's my advice. That's something that just came up in the Facebook group the other night. And then this thing that happened with Challenge the Wild. I saw his video afterwards. I'm like, oh, well, that's weird. I guess that's my example for this chat, for this live stream. So, again, I hope you guys are doing good out there. I hope your weekend is going good and your tanks are going good. Let's see. Let's go ahead and see if we have some questions here. All right. Sorry about this. I just set this up and trying to figure it out and everything still. And hopefully that'll work out. Hopefully that'll look good. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it actually updates. Is it updating? Oh, there he goes. Jessica, for Guppy, and ignore the question mark. It's that weird character from copying and pasting. For guppies, what species of plants and fish should I keep with them? I don't have brackish water, but I do have coral and hard water. Okay, I'm a little confused on this question here. What do you mean you have corals? Hard water, I can understand. A lot of people do have hard water because of the city water and stuff. It tends to be hard most of the time. But what is... Are you asking about fresh water, or is this a reef tank? I'm a little confused on that. So, we'll just move a little on. We'll move on. I'm not quite sure how to answer that question because that's a weird question. That's a good question here. Let's highlight this one here. Assuming that I can figure this thing out. Alright, here we go. So, Caitlin asked, do fish live without air pump? I'm upgrading my internal filter to an external one, and the external filter doesn't have an air pump. Okay, Caitlin. Now, here's the thing. Yes, fish can live... Why am I looking that way? Fish can live without an air pump. You don't need an air pump. The only reason why you need an air pump is because if your tank is low on oxygen. If you're worried about that, then your external filter, when you hook it up, make sure the output is actually causing water turbulence, some kind of turbulence, so that it aggravates the oxygen exchange in the air and your tank water. And you should be okay. Just keep a close eye on your fish. I'm assuming you're not pumping CO2 in your tank. So you shouldn't really have that big of a problem with it. Natural air exchange between the tank and the air itself will put oxygen in your tank. If you have an air pump or whatever, all it does is just aggravates that exchange from going on, so that more oxygen will go into your tank. More oxygen than CO2 actually will go into your tank. So yes, they could live without it. It's no problem. But if you're worried about it and you're switching to external, just make sure your output, the outflow of the water, is actually making some kind of turbulence on the top of your water, so it causes some water movement and stuff. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Again, something's wrong with my browser. That it's weird. It's scrolling weirdly. Not sure why it's doing that. Okay, Thomas says, thank you for the confidence to get into this. It's so intimidating making your first tank, but your approach and lingo are motivating. Well, thank you, Thomas. And I'm going to actually highlight this here because we're going to go ahead and talk about this a little. And one of those things, it's one of those nights. Sorry, I'll get used to this sooner or later. It was one of those nights last night where I was looking over my channel, looking at my stats. I'm wondering if I'm doing right, I'm good. If the channel growth is doing, all those things that you evaluate as a YouTuber. You're sitting there, you're wondering if the videos you're putting out are actually doing good. So I actually posed this question on the Facebook group, which, by the way, if you don't know already, we have a Facebook group where we talk and discuss about aquariums. And if you want to get more discussions and get an easier way to get answers to your questions, I highly suggest you join the Facebook group. I got really good mods in there, and it's a really inviting place. You can always ask those same newbie questions without getting berated. At least, hopefully, you don't. If you do, let us know because we'll just ban people. Simple as that. I don't put up with that crap. So as a newbie, so a lot of people are saying that I just make it simple to understand, and I hope that I'm doing that. And that's really important, especially when people get into this hobby. Now, when getting back into this hobby, it was easy for me because I understood it a long time ago, because I was really into it a long time ago. And then took a huge break and then went back into it. So I understood the lingos. But what I realized when I was getting back into it and looking at YouTube channels, looking at all the blogs and stuff like that, the lingos would throw anyone off. Even just beginner Aquarius, I find could be difficult. So that's why I started the YouTube channel. I'm like, well, maybe I could explain it a little better for people, and hoping I'm right about most of the things I talk about. Because sometimes, I have that fear where I'm not always right. And, honestly, I'm not. Or that it's not about being right, but more about, relaying that experience to you and just kind of explain it to you guys in a way that you guys can understand, so you guys could actually, get something from it. And I think that's the most important thing. And that's why I'm trying to make it, the more advanced topic as easy as possible for you guys to understand, so you can get into it without blowing up your heads. But it does happen. Sometimes you do have to get into the lingo, and the best way to do it is just ease you guys into it. So, okay. Cyclid Guru NYC. My man. He's been following me for a while now. Actually, save on that one. So he asked, any thoughts on dry ferts? Now, I'm going to do a whole video series on fertilization. That's the third series I'm going to do after the CO2 series, after I finish this lighting series that I'm currently doing. So the whole point is to get those 3 series up, including the beginner to planet tank series. The 4 series is supposed to be a whole series on planet tanks, right? That gets you into it. Beginner planet tanks really just get you introduced into it, and then really pushes you into the next 3 series where you get a little more into the lighting, the CO2, and the ferts. So he's saying, any thoughts on dry ferts? And again, I've always promote this, always push this, is that I use dry ferts a lot. Okay. Mainly because of the type of fertilization dosing system I use, which is usually EI dosing. And EI dosing, it just makes it so much easier to control with dry ferts. And that, I think, I can say is pretty much the general idea, that dry ferts is just easier to do for me, because I can control what to give the plants and what to put in the tank. So if I know it needs more potassium, I'm just putting potassium, not a whole bottle of extra stuff. Because, when you get all-in-one ferts, there's a certain amount of stuff that's in that fert. So if you need more potassium, and you only have a certain amount of potassium in that all-in-one fert, the only way that you could give it, and provide that potassium is to add more of that all-in-one fert. And if you add all that all-in-one fert, then suddenly you're adding all this other stuff to it that the plants don't need, and suddenly you just get, boom, explosion of algae or really big imbalance in your tank. That's why I like using dry ferts, because you could strategically, get get that certain fruit that you need in the tank itself. So that's why I really like dry fruits. The only problem with using dry fruits is you have to get into the chemistry, you have to understand it, and then you have to understand all the lingo to it, as we talked about before. So dry fruits, great control of your tank, but it might be hard for some because you gotta go through the scientific lingo and understand all the scientific part of it. Hopefully my series will be able to help you understand that, but that's going to be a hard one because I have to talk about chemistry and all the chemistry words and everything to it. There's just no way around it. But that's my thoughts on dry fruits. Great way to fruit your tank because you have control over what you're giving your plants. Oh, Jessica, okay. So back to Jessica question. She has crushed corals in her tank. Now here's the problem. It sounds like you are. I'm not entirely sure why you have crushed corals in your tank for a planted tank. What you're doing is you're creating a really hard water environment. It's great if you're going to do a cichlid tank, an African cichlid tank, or doing a reef tank, but horrible for more soft water plants. So you're going to run into the problem here. For this, your tank water is going to be really hard. Your plants are not gonna. If you're looking to do a really nice green lush planted tank, it's going to be hard to keep those plants alive in really hard water. In this case, the only thing I could think of is you have to take that crushed coral out. Get rid of that crushed coral, and that's probably what's making your water really hard. That's the only thing I could suggest. Crushed coral will just make your water hard. It's just, I don't know, unless someone else in the chat, sorry, looking there, someone else in the chat could suggest a way to lower her hardness, even with crushed coral in her tank, go for it. But for me, my suggestion would be you gotta escape that. You gotta get that crushed coral out of there. But that's my suggestion. Hey, Claire Bear, welcome to the chat. I hope you enjoy your time here. Congo, welcome to the chat. Okay. Sean actually has a good question. The problem is I don't think I could actually easily answer this. So I'll need you guys, in the chat to answer it for her. She asks, oops, let me fix this. She asks, as a newbie, how can you tell the difference between dropsy and well-maintained fish when getting fish from your local fish store? I had autos die with an exploded stomach. Well, the exploded stomach thing could be different things. That's not dropsy, I can tell you that right away. The problem thing is I'm not very good at fish diseases because I don't run into them often, and I've said this a lot. I don't run into fish diseases often, fish sickness often. I'm just either lucky or I'm just understand ahead of time how to prevent that from happening, or just understand where I'm buying my fish from. That's the thing. I have a lot of choices in LA where I get my fish. I have a lot of choices on the internet to understand where to get fish that I know the breeder is actually excellent at keeping fish. For me, that's important because I don't want to introduce that. I don't want to deal with all that by the time it gets into my tank itself. But for other people, I need you to explain how your autos are exploding stomach. Are you just seeing them after they're dead and their stomach or expanded or bloated? That could be 1,000 different things. It could be just from death itself. It could be from, it could be just from death itself, because when a living thing dies, we bloat. So we need a little more information on that. I don't think that's actually dropsy. But anyone else in the chat, please confirm that. Please give her advice on that. Vi asks, what do you look for in fish food? And honestly, right now, most of my fish I keep are, community tetras, community tank and stuff. So I just get the flake foods. Mostly I feed Tubiflex, striped freeze worms sometimes. But that's it. And sometimes I feed live bloodworm. But only because it's the type of fish I keep right now. There's no reason for me to actually give them anything like beef hearts or anything like that. Now, if I had a discus tank or the more larger, more expensive fish, then that'll depend. It'll depend on the fish I keep. If it was discus, of course I'm gonna feed beef hearts, frozen beef hearts, and other things. I just haven't done much research on what to feed discus right now. What's the best thing to feed them? It's because I haven't had the need to. So. Hey, good morning, 54 Punchy. 54 Punchy stalks everyone by. That's the thing with 54. Hey, welcome to the chat, Charlie. Brian Lee. Oh, here we go. Excellent question here from Brian Lee. So Brian asks, need a light for the 75 gallon, 4 feet long. What's your opinion on the best LED to purchase for a planted tank? I will be running a mix of highlight and low light plants with CO2. Okay, so here's the thing with the 75 gallon tank. You're looking at what, 22 inches in height and depth? It's 22 or 18. I don't know. The tank at my office is about 18-ish inches, okay? I have on that tank a Phoenix Stingray. Horrible choice because it's just one Phoenix Stingray. I thought, okay, I'm going to grow low light plants. Phoenix Stingray should just be fine. A 4-foot fixture should give me more than enough light to grow low light plants. Very, very low light. Here's the problem. I am not getting enough light to the substrate with just that one strip. Now, I could either double it up or get something higher like a Planet Plus, Planet 24/7, or if I really, really want, to grow highlight plants, then I would have to probably go with either a Ray 2, a Phoenix Ray 2, or a Planet Plus. I'm sorry, not Planet Plus, a Fluval 3.0. Now, here's my suggestion. If you're going to grow plants that need high light or moderate light, you really don't need high light to grow plants unless you're trying to push plant growth. All right, plants could always get away with moderate light, but then if you want to grow them out and you're impatient, highlight always helps. And you're running with CO2. So the way it sounds like with your setup, I would highly suggest you get the Fluval 3.0 or the Phoenix 24/7 CC. Those are the mid-range for that range of light. Those are the mid-range cost of lighting. The reason why I like those is because you can control the intensity of the light. So if you decide later that you don't have enough plants that need that type of high light, you can always tone it down. That's the best thing about the newer light fixtures, the control and intensity of the light. Now, if you have unlimited funds or you really spend and spend money on those lights, go for a Kessel. Kessels are always great. Kessel's Tuna Sun. Okay, you want to get, I think, was it the A320, the A360? I think it's A360. You could probably go and need 2 of those for a 75 gallon high, or 75 gallon tank, period. And that'll do you well. It'll do you a lot of good. And then you can control the intensity. You can also control the color temperature if you wanted to make it, less poppy or more reds or whatever. It doesn't control the spectrum, it controls the color temperature. All right? So hopefully that helped you out, but that's what I would suggest. Jessica says their plants are fine. I have water sprite, Bocapa, Java moss, George Sagittarius are fine because all those plants you have there are really, really hardy plants. So, I mean, if you're going to stick to hardy plants like that, go with that. Don't rescape your tank then. I need to go back up and find out what your original question is then. What should I keep for guppies? What species of plants and fish should I keep? Alright, but you have hard water. Well, I don't know about what livestock you should keep with your guppies that contain mollies, swordtails. Those guys could handle hard and kind of, you don't have brackish, but they could do with a little salt if you wanted to. But for plants, you got to keep the hardy plants, something that hard. You can always try to grow like say Amazon swords and see how well that'll do in your tank. But again, without knowing exactly what your parameters are, it's hard to say. You're saying it's hard. You have fresh corals in your tanks, so yeah, try Amazon swords. They're pretty hardy, but they like softer water. What else? You could try water wisteria. I think you said you had Indian sprays, right? What's your chat? Now you have water spray. Bacapa, Java Moss, or Sag, stick to those. Nubius should work. Try that. Nubius Botteri, Nubius Nana, I think they could do okay in hard water. George Sag will just do good in anything. They could do good in lava. Stupid George. I hate that stuff. Let's see, what else good hardy plants? Oh, what is that plant that just grows anywhere? Any type of moss will work. Should work fine. Guppy grass, I think, is okay in hard water. They just grow better in soft water, if that makes sense. Samuel, welcome to the chat. Sorry for butchering your name. There's no way I can pronounce that. Thank you for vids. They have helped me out starting my planet aquarium so far. My fish like it way more than their old one. Nice. Well, good to see you jump into it. That's very awesome. Yeah, I'm very selective with my fish too. I really, because the thing is I concentrate more on the aquascaping and stuff, so I don't want to deal with fish too much, you know, in the sense that I have to spend so much time on worrying about the fish. So I always make sure that, you know, I stock, like Pastor Dirt World says, I stock the store before buying anything. I tend to like go there like 3 or 4 times just to see different times of days and time of the day. And just to see what they do, you know, at the store and stuff. And, of course, talk to them. Because if they're really knowledgeable and understand, and if you ask them water parameters and stuff, and they're okay telling you that, and they're really interested in telling you that, then that's a good sign that, hey, maybe they're worth trying. Hey, Q, Susie Q's in the house. I didn't even see you there. What's up? Echoes happening again? I'm not sure. Why is it suddenly echoing? I have everything paused. Am I still echoing, guys? Please confirm. Echo, echo, echo. Oh, Java Fern. Thank you, Damian Bloodstone. Java Ferns work good in hard water. Lupe Agura. Hopefully I'm not echoing anymore. But let's see. I'm not sure why I'm echoing, so that is a new thing for me. I have everything muted. Sometimes I echo? That's weird. Okay, Lupe Agria, how long before you add fish using Echo Complete? So how long can you add fish before using Echo Complete? Assuming you're first setting up your tank, make sure the cycle is done, and then you can add fish. It doesn't matter whether or not you use Echo Complete. Assuming that you have a established filter, then you can add fish. You gotta make sure your ammonia is 0 and your nitrite 0. Your nitrates is gonna have some readings, but the whole thing about cycling is you gotta cycle your tank. I don't have a video on that yet, but go ahead and look up on YouTube and look up tank cycling, aquarium cycling. Okay, that's when you set up your tank and you have to let it go for 4 weeks or so. So it could cycle, so your filter could build up the bacteria to provide a good environment for your fish. It has nothing to do with Echo Complete. The good thing about Echo Complete is that Echo Complete comes with bacteria that helps jump cycle that cycle, so that hopefully your cycle will be done sooner. But it does have bacteria, then that does help it. Hey Nick, welcome to the chat. Bottom feeders not high in water. anyone can answer that for Jessica, but I think plecos can. But you know, you have to do your research. You have to go on the internet and do your research. She's saying, "Thank you. Do you know of any bottom feeders that like hard water?" It's 29 gallons, so I'm looking for something similar, peaceful. So see if Bristol know plecos who deal with hard water. They're from Amazon, so I'm not too sure about that. But anyone else, bottom feeders, let her know. Yeah, I don't know why it's intermittent. Maybe it could be my AC. I don't know. Like I moved stuff around for the live chat. So hopefully I can figure out what's causing it. Nice. All right, guys, we're gonna go into the next segment. So we're gonna take a look at a couple of tanks because these people submitted to me like 20 minutes before the live stream when I posted the post. What we're gonna do here is look at a tank. They have problems or whatever with it, or they just looking for advice on the tank itself and where they should go from it and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and, of course, give my advice. And if you guys have any suggestions or anything, leave them in the comments. Or not leave them in the comments, but leave in the chat. Let us know what you think and stuff like that. So here we go. Oops, that is my chat. That is not. See, I'll get this. I'll get this. Now, this is Christina's tank. One of our users in our group, actually one of our mods in the group. And I asked her permission, but she didn't reply right away. So hopefully she doesn't get mad at me on this one. So hopefully she'll actually like that. This is her tank, and since she didn't answer me, I don't know the stats on her tank. In fact, let me fix this. Now I'm gonna write an app where you can submit, your tanks and your specs so that we could do this on the live stream. So I think this looks like a 20-gallon long. Okay, and then she got AC up there in the front, and I believe she said those are valves, jungle valves on the right side there that you're looking at, and crypts on the left side in the front there. And she's trimmed down some Luigia somewhere, and then she put it somewhere. I can't see it on this picture. And there you got the boost and everything like that. So this is her tank, and she asked for advice. She says, I need some plant ideas. I hate my HC carpet. It is an algae magnet. Looks a little scraggly where it even gets a little shade. I also want to replace the Luigia in the back, so annoyed with my tank right now. So my suggestion to her was simply this: stem plants, stem plants, stem plants. Okay, stem plants will help create that wall of nature, and that will make the tank look a lot more fuller. See, the problem with this tank right now, and I've explained to her, is that the plants she selected are very stringy. Okay, so that's why it looks scraggly all over the place. She needs to fill it out a bit. And that's what I suggest. I suggest in the back stem plants, get some maicas, get some kabambas. It looks really frilly and full. Okay, take the jungle valve on the right there, move it to the back on the left. I love the hill, the aquascaping hill that she's got going there. That's awesome. I like that bunch of stuff there. She also has some problem with algae, but that'll go away once she balances her tank out a little bit. She just doesn't have enough. I don't think enough plants to really compete with the algae right now. And also she's got that light blasting there, and that's going on right now. So move the jungle valve or whatever that is on the right of the tank to the left in the back. Okay, so that'll grow behind that hill there. Okay, and really fill in that area. Okay, and then in that right side, get a nice, like maybe Amazon sword, Amazon compacta if it's a 20-gallon long, because Amazon sword will grow out of the water unless you want that effect. Amazon swords growing out of the water, it's really cool. I don't know if you have a topless tank there going on. So more full plants, more filly plants. She asked if she should move the AC under the more shadowed area. I told her what you should do is go ahead and just plant a clump and see how it does in that area, because everyone says HE needs highlight. That's not always true. As long as you got it or grow, you have it established with a nice root, you can actually grow a nice moderate lining. So see how it grows in that area. Plant a clump there and see if it will spread. If it does, plant more clumps and let it fill in. But that would look good. That would look good. I don't know if you guys see my mouse right now. Yeah, you guys see my mouse. So I would love to see it fill in this area here. Your crypts, if you keep it growing, it's going to go large. So it will fill in this area here later on in the year. If that, or later on in your tank life. If that's going to bother you later, you probably might want to move it towards this side here, right in front of the Amazons, and let this side just carpet over here, and you'll have a nice little open area. So that would look good too. I'm not sure. What do you have growing back here? What is that? I'm not sure what that is. That looks like baby tears. Or either out of control Monte Carlo. But yeah, that's kind of peeking up in the back there. I might change that. I might change that to a more mid-ground plant. And so that'll fill in the area in the back there. Because you got that nice level there. But again, stem plants, this is what's really missing in this tank, is the stem plants. Nice poofy stem plants. Kabamba, Maika. And anything else someone else suggests in the chat would be helpful. Any stem plants that are poofy stem plants are always good. You could bunch up Luiga mini reds to get some more red into the tank itself. But yeah, that is my suggestion for that. Next tank is Mike B. Mike B is one of our mods. And pull that up. Alright, so this is Mike B's tank. It is a 20-gallon tank, Aqua Opta Bright Plus lighting, which should be more than enough for a 20-gallon tank. No CO2. I dose twice a week with Seachem Flourish and once a week with Seachem Flourish Excel. Alright, so he's dosing liquid CO2. Assuming that nothing is melting in your tank, then go ahead and just keep doing that. That will definitely help the plants. I just don't like liquid dosing for CO2. It's not my thing, but if it works for you, do it. You dose twice a week with Seachem Flourish. I suggest you also get Seachem Potassium, Seachem Nitrogen, and Seachem Phosphates. Dose those as well per the instruction on the bottle, because all you're dosing right now is mainly micronutrients with the Seachem Flourish. There's not much of the macronutrients, which is those 3 nutrients that I mentioned. Okay, potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen. Okay. So 3 more bottles you get. This is why I don't like doing the Seachem dosing stuff. I always suggest just go get it all in one. It'd be easier to do that. But what I do suggest is getting Seachem iron as well. But it doesn't seem like you have to worry too much about iron. Your plants look fine with that. But yeah, so that's what I suggest on the dosing regimen there. No CO2, that's fine. Nothing in your tank really needs CO2, but if you can put CO2 in it, always good. But you're sticking with the liquid CO2, so hopefully that'll keep you going there. All right, first thing off in the Aquascape, I love it. Looks good. Now, what I would like to see, in my own opinion, what I would do is fill in those corners. These corners are really bare. Trim that damn giant dwarf hair grass there, buddy. I know we talked about this, but yeah, you do need to trim that. Trim that so it's about 1 inch from the top of your tank, because those things will grow. It looks like it's growing really well. So it's just going to grow back in a week. All right, so you're going to have to keep trimming it. But the dwarf hairgrass looks good. What I probably would have done is move that dwarf hairgrass to the corner. And then, again, stem plants, or 20-gallon tank, I would go ahead and put Amazon swords on the corner. Again, I'm an Amazon sword lover. I love it. I like the What is that green plant in the black back there? But that's good. Propagate that. Get a bigger bushel going. Maybe another bushel of stem plants. Try Bacapa. I really love it. It's Mica, sorry. Mica. It's one of my favorites. You get that frilly look. Or Kabamba, which would be easy to grow in your tank. So not Mica, get Kabamba. That will go decently in your tank. Put that on the other side. Maybe in the middle, or maybe in the corner somewhere. I mean, it depends. If you're gonna get a Amazon sword and put it in the corner there, then I would probably put the Kabamba kind of. Sorry, I'm trying to picture it now. Well, if you trim your giant dwarf hairgrass, I would just leave it there and put the Kabamba in the left corner. Okay, but I would suggest more stem plants. And stem plants are always good, especially stuff like Kabamba, because it really sucks up those excess, nitrates. Up in the front, are those swords? Not entirely sure. It looks like swords, little bitty swords. So grow them out and put them in the corner there. Looks like George Sag. Is that what it was? I'm trying to remember what was in your tank. I know we talked about this, but my memory sucks. But everything else looks great. I like the driftwood, how you have it laid out. The rocks are good. The rocks are not the main focus, but the driftwood is. I would try Boost or Nubius. Tie them to your driftwood. That'd be look good. If you want Java Fern, but you're in 20-gallon tanks, so that Java Fern might grow and become like a big nice bush, or a big nice plant. So I don't know what you're trying to accomplish in this sense there. But that's that's my advice. If you have any other questions, just post them down below. So so that is the new segment of the live show, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I wish there was more evaluations we could do, but I didn't get that many submissions in the short time that I was doing it. Oh, okay, there, Mike. I didn't add. I hate the giant hairgrass in there. You hate the giant. Maybe because the giant hairgrass is like a huge bunch of, grass. Trim it. Oh, I was gonna say something so inappropriate right now. I'm not gonna say it because there might be kids watching. So, I think try trimming it. I'm trimming it on Monday. Okay. Yeah, trim it and then see how it looks. Because once you trim it, it will look different. I'm not sure what you mean by which one. I think I need to have the chat up while I'm doing these evaluations. But what do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think as well. It's not just me. I want to know, your thoughts and stuff on these aquascapes. Any suggestions or whatever you might do to help these people out. So go ahead and post it in chat. I'm sure, Mike is here now, but Christine isn't. I think Christine is out. I don't think she'd come to my live stream, right? Well, Christine can see it later. We could post it. Sorry, Punchy. Well, I didn't say it, so I'm good. Let's see here. Oh, there you are. Mod you in here. Sorry. She's mod on the Facebook, but not modded in the chat right now. So can you please tell me the temperature required for Monte Carlo growth? Typical, let me go ahead and fix this here. Nash. My Nash. Nash Bose. Yes, can you please tell me the temperature for growing Monte Carlo? Pretty much the same as any tropical fish tank. It keeps between 76 to 80. Anything above, your plants might have a hard time growing. I know my plants are having a hard time because of the heat wave right now. My tank's somewhere around 85 degrees. My fish is doing fine, which is weird, but they seem to love it. My plants, not so much. Some of them are losing its leaf and stuff, so I have to figure a way to just keep it cool. I just left the lid off right now, just trying to keep it cool. But yeah, Monte Carlo growth should be good between 76 to 80 degrees. Hydrocolite, Japan in the back. Okay, got it. Bacapa is Bacapa is very easy to grow. I like Bacapa myself too. Okay, just because the KH is 120, the AA ppm, the GH is 150, and the pH alkaline is. All right. Well, she's giving some more parameters about GH KH. It is pretty hard. You know, I would just try anything that I listed in my like low light beginner video plan video is worth trying because they are pretty hardy. But again, Java ferns would be great. Someone already mentioned that. You try Amazon swords. They could get finicky. Assuming they have a really good, nice root structure, they could grow in pretty hard water. And that's it. Actually, I can't really give you too much advice about hard water plants because I don't have hard water aquariums. When I'm pumping CO2 into the aquarium, it softens the water. So hopefully someone else give me advice. I'm just gonna have to say, from what I've already given you, that's the best I can do, Jessica. Sorry about that. Oh, you said okay. Yes, it's really hard to do tank evaluations. Well, you're sitting there and telling me what's in it. But when I think when I set it up, when people submit Aqua evaluations, and they'll submit, I'll have the form that people fill out and tell me about the tanks, so it'll be easier to do evaluation, for me and for you guys. So here's Aqua balls. Aqua balls could help you. So use some pictures of some hardscape. What kind of plants do you recommend? Oh, Aqua balls you did. Aqua ball, where did you send it at? By the way, Aqua ball's been trying to lure me with food to go hang out at his house. You're a 63-year-old kid. We're all kids, man. Come on, Punchy. Where can I order some hair grass for already planted aquarium? What do you mean already planted aquarium? You can order hair grass for, any aquarium. I'm assuming we'll just stick with where can you order some hair grass? Are you talking about dwarf hair grass or are you talking about giant hair grass? Now the place where I can get hair grass from is over at CK Fish World because they have it usually. If not, I ordered it on eBay. eBay is a little easier to order plants from because rather than livestock because, it's plants. It's easier to take care of and stuff. But I have my specific places that I buy on eBay that are around here, so the plants get to me quick. But I suggest looking at eBay. The best way to do is find sellers around your area that's close to your area, or in your city or close to your zip code, maybe 50 miles from your zip code, so that they get to you fast in a couple of days. And there's tons of them on eBay. That's probably your best source for buying plants if you don't have a place to go. Dwarf hair grass. I don't think Dustin's fish tanks have them in stock, but you can also, I don't know, you have to look up the DustinFishTank.com, look at H2Oplants.com. I know Justin from H2Oplants.com usually has in stock the dwarf hair grass stuff, but I've never seen the giant hair grass. Oh no, he does have giant hair grass on his site too. I just don't know if it's sold out or not. You have to check. But those are places I would suggest online. Michael Valpelt. He's asking. Man, I wish I had a way to program this stuff to make it easier for me. He's asking, Monte Carlo, a low light plant. Is Monte Carlo a low light plant? And I totally messed that up. Yeah, Monte Carlo can grow in low light. That's what makes it an excellent choice for a carpeting plant for lower light setups. It just doesn't grow as fast and doesn't grow as thick. Okay, in low light, and that goes for any plants. You don't provide it as much nutrient, not enough light, or not as much light, not as much nutrients, and you giving it bare minimum. They're not gonna grow as fast, and they're not gonna grow as lush. Okay, Monte Carlo, you put it in a nice, like moderate lighted tank, give it CO2 and give it nutrients. That thing will go out of control. It's nuts, right? So it is a low light plant in a way that it will grow as a carpet. It'll just take a longer time to establish that carpet, and it won't look as full, right? It'll be kind of straggly and stringy. But yeah, I guess you could consider it a low light plant. The echo's back. I don't understand what's causing the echo. I really don't. I'll have to look into it. I'll have to watch back and see where the echo's coming from. I don't know why it's echoing. I really don't. Presenter webcams. Yeah, I don't understand where the echoes come from. Oh, yes. Arizona Aquatic Gardens is actually a good place to order from. Opinion on Blixa japonicas, Martin K. Am I still echoing, guys? Damn, I really don't know how to fix it until I could hear it. Let's see. Oh, I think I know what it is. Hold on a second, guys. Why is this? Damn, I can't change it. That's the problem. Well, I'm live. Alright. Here's what I'm gonna have to do. Alright, maybe that'll help better. I apologize. Alright, let me wait till the playback comes back. Apologies, guys. Hold on a second. Yep. It's still going. Okay. I can't change this. It's a filter on the audio. They must have updated or changed it somehow. Oh, there's the filters. Let me remove the filter and see if that changes anything. Okay, is it better now, guys? Sorry about that. The problem is now you're hearing a lot of background gain. We gotta fix this. Yeah, it is better, but yeah, it's a filter. All right, guys, I'm gonna turn off the filter so you're gonna hear the nasty, like gain in the back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sitting here watching me adjust this. Yeah, I'll mess with the filter later. So, Martin K's question is my opinion on Blixa japonica lighting CO2. I love Blixas japonicas. If you watch my 20-gallon Dutch style series, I had Blixa in there. Give it it can grow in low light, it just won't do as good. Okay, give it moderate lighting, give it CO2, give it nutrients, and the thing will explode. It become huge bushels. Okay, and these little, make these little I don't know, stemlings turn into a huge mother plant. I mean, Blixas go really, really, really well, and say give it moderate lighting, decent CO2, and give it enough nutrients, and it will do good. It's an easy plant to grow, actually. In low light, even it'll grow in low light. It just won't look as good, but that's for most plants. You know, it just won't look as full and bushy. You know, so just remember that. But japonica, love them. Blixa, sorry, love them. Easy to grow, at least easy to grow for me. See, here's the problem. I'll say easy to grow for me, but a lot of people will have problems with it some way or the other. So, thank you, Mike. Pastor Rose says Boost Plants have hair grass in stock also, so boostplants.com. Okay. Manash Boyce. Well, Manash Boyce is asking this question here, which kind of already answered because someone already asked. Where I live in India, in summer sometimes it will become 90 to 95 degrees. What plant you suggest for carpeting, low CO2 and not much light? Monte Carlo. Easy. It will grow. It will carpet. But with low CO2, not much light, it's just going to go slow and not as full. You could also try dwarf hairgrass. That will work too. You could also try Sterigan repens, S repens, which that's what a lot of people call it. But in low light, they won't look as good as a carpet. But you could try it. But that's my suggestion there. Oh, which by the way, guys, I'm still waiting for my Senai Reef monitor to come in, and did a lot of research on that, and that's going to give me really close for the price. It's going to give me a real close reading, at least some decent reading, a general idea of par ratings as well as the spectrum of the lights. So I went ahead and bought that. It was only $200. I'm going to do a review on it. It just doesn't measure par and spectrum, but it also measures lux. It also measures pH, also measures temperature, and a whole lot of other stuff. It's a monitoring system. So I'm going to do a review on it. It's only $200. They make it for Reef, but it works well, just as good for planet tanks because of the par readings and the light meters and everything. And the meter itself isn't a combined meter. It actually measures blue, green, reds in the spectrum. That's why it's able to give you a spectrum chart. So I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna see how well it does. I'll be able to use that to measure the lighting kit reviews I'll do. And yeah, I can't wait for it to happen. I'll figure out how to pay for it later. So hopefully I'll have enough for rent. But it's something I just need to get, you know. Chris S4. Quick question here. Again, a very common question, and I really have to do a video on this. Okay, and he asks, what are your thoughts on Echo Complete? Echo Complete works well. It's cheap. It has the beneficial bacteria to help jumpstart a cycle if that's something that you want, and it goes right out of the bag straight into your tank. Don't need to rinse it or anything. It's not nutrient rich. Okay, the only nutrient it gives is the minor nutrients, which is already in the type of rock, the volcanic soil, whatever it is the nutrients it gives out naturally. Okay, so but what it does is have CC value. Now you're gonna read conflicting information of how good the CC value is in Eco Complete, and the CC value is the ability for it to store nutrients in in the substrate so that it could give it off to the root feeders, to the plants in its roots. So there's a argument about it. CC value is not high. It's not as high as other people say, or they say it is. They say it's low, but in my experience, Eco Complete has always worked out really well for me. The only problem with Eco Complete, again, dose your water column. Okay, otherwise it will not get nutrients for it to store in the substrate. But for me, Eco Complete works great. Never had a problem with it. Yeah, it's aliens, Mike. It's definitely aliens. Aqua balls. If your shrimp tank is doing good. Aqua ball ass. There's gotta be a faster way to do this. I'll figure it out later. Aqua ball asks, if your shrimp tank is doing good, what's the best water changing method? I don't really understand. Just do your water change. I don't know if there's a method to water changing. Are you just saying change it every week? Is that what you're asking? The schedule, or I'm not entirely sure what your setup is and what you're trying to do with the tank. So let me know. Sean asks, will a cluster of Java fern in the background of the tank provide the same bunchiful look you mentioned with stem plants? Yes, it could. It just doesn't go as well. It depends on how tall your tank is. It doesn't go all the way to the top, but again, depending on how tall your tank is, but it does grow bushy and huge. Especially if you give it tons of CO2, tons of light, tons of nutrients. It loves it. It'll just grow out of control. Watch my 20-gallon Dutch style tank series, and you'll see what happened to mine. It would just exploded, and the plant roots would just. And then when I pulled it out of my tank, because it was just going out of control, it was a huge bunch of roots. It was nice. So yeah, it can, but you gotta give it some oomph to grow. Gotta give it CO2. Gotta give it light to grow. But if not, it will just grow slow, and it'll still look good. It will give you a clustered, bunchy look and feel to it. Minesh Boyce asks again, what about Java fern? Does Monte Carlo survive on that high temperature? Because I will go for a dry start, and it's not summer here. After 7 to 8 months, if at all, carpet destroys on summer, it will hurt like hell. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're asking on the temperature outside of the water. Oh, that one, you know what? I do not have an answer on. Yeah, I don't have an answer on that, on how well Monte Carlo will do grown immersed, and the temperature with that. For Monte Carlo, I think when they see, it's a different situation when you're growing them immersed outside of the water. I think it actually handle higher temperatures out of the water. See, I really don't know. I can't say. I've just never done it. I've never seen anyone, and I've never talked to anyone that did it, with Monte Carlo, where the temperature is a problem. So, sorry. Gamer Rolando. He asked, do you... I hope this is working. Yeah. Do you dose fertilizer? If so, what type? Yes, I dose fertilizer. Right now, I don't. Because right now, my tank doesn't need it. The tank downstairs, the 20-gallon long, doesn't need fertilizers because there's more than enough nutrients in that tank right now. Usually when I do, it depends on the tank. It depends on what I'm trying to do. When I did the tank, the 20-gallon long Dutch-style tank, I was EI dosing it. So I was dosing dry fertilizers in that tank every single day. in a tank like downstairs. If I do need fert, then I would just dose it with an all-one fert, and I would just go for once or twice a week kind of regimen. But right now it doesn't need it, so there's no point in giving fert if it doesn't need it. Crested Java. Java fern. This is actually, I've never heard it called crested Java fern until last week when someone mentioned it. That's interesting. Jessica, between mystery snails and nearite snails, what are your favorites? Sorry to tell you this, Jessica, I'm not a snail guy. Okay? I don't actually buy snails to keep snails because I get them anyways, usually. The nearite snails looks really cool, so I would probably get them so they look over mystery snails. But if I ever do get snails, I'll probably hit the nearite snails before I hit the mystery snails. What I really like are the assassin snails. They look really, really cool. But you're going to only be able to have assassin snails in your tank. Hey, Mark Osborne, how you doing? Glad to hear your tank's doing good. Add some Amados to the Planet Soul 55. Nice. Still burping, but after chopstick acupuncture, it's way down. Good. Thinking of livestock in a couple weeks. Nice. Any idea what livestock you're looking at? And sorry, guys, I am like... See, the reason why I'm copy and pasting is because I do go back and read everything, and then when I'm asking questions, I tend to like fall behind, and then people don't know where I'm answering, so that's why I'm doing the copy and pasting. But anyways, awesome, Mark. Let me know what do you plan? Let us know. What do you plan to put in the tank? That sounds cool. What's up, King Brandon? Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Echo again? I don't understand where the echo is coming from, guys. I turned off the filter. So that is weird. I have to check later. I'm sorry, I don't know how to fix it right now at this point in time. Other than putting you guys on pause, shutting everything down, and going to waste. But I'll figure it out later. So hopefully it'll just go away and then echo won't be there again. Yeah. But we are... we're actually getting close to the end. If you guys have any more questions, ask them now before I take off, because I got some videos to do. I gotta do some research and write up some stuff. Yeah, I'm inside a fish tank, Punchy. A big one. So any last questions, post them down below. Can't wait to get... I'm really waiting for that stupid Senai Reef thing to come in. I gotta record that. Opening the box opening and everything, so that I have footage for when I make the video. And I think tomorrow's video I'm going to go over stuff that I said I wasn't going to go over in the lighting series, but I decided that I should mention it and tell you what they are used for. Like PER. Actually, I said I wasn't going to mention PER, but that actually is important. And the reason why I said I wasn't going to mention PER instead of PAR is that it's hard to measure, but nowadays, especially with that Senai, actually does measure some form of PER and how used it is, or how much is being used, that I think I should start mentioning. And then I'm going to mention Lux, Kelvin. We got to talk about Kelvin rating and stuff and how that affects our tanks as well. The problem is the last two parameters actually don't affect plant growth in the way directly. That's why I never mentioned it in the lighting series, but I think I need to mention it and kind of clear the way a little bit. So, hey, Waterbox, I have a bunch of baby guppies. Let's go ahead and put this here. Alright, King Byron says, hey, Waterbox, I have a bunch of 25 guppies that were born 6 weeks ago. And all of a sudden, this week, they've been dying off. Do you know the cause of this? I wouldn't know the cause of it, but Babies do die. That's the problem. But I'm not sure. I don't know what your tank parameters are. I don't know what's in your tank. Are they being eaten? Is it only the baby guppies in the tank? Is the tank too hot? I mean, you gotta watch the temperatures. Make sure you look at the parameters. That's important. Or they could just be hiding. If you have rocks and stuff, you have an aquascape in that tank, they could just be hiding for all you know. So, yeah, I don't know without knowing more about the tank that they're in. So, what's a good light that doesn't cost more than 100 for what kind of tank, Mike? Mike Valpelt asks, what's a good light that's gonna cost more than 100? And I don't know what size of a tank you have, but honestly, for less than 100, it depends. Again, size of the tank, because the bigger the fixture, the more expensive it's going to cost. Now, the other thing is, what are you growing? So I need to know more about that. So what size tank and what do you plan to grow? Is it low light plants, high light plants? Trying to grow a carpet? Because if you look at a 24-inch 24/7 Planet Plus CC, it's only $102. So that's 100 right there. 20-inch is $84. So I mean, I need to know what size of the tank. Yeah, you might. What? How hard is your water, King Brandon? It just does make a point that guppies do well in harder water, especially when they're babies. So, I'm not a breeder, so you gotta ask a breeder. That might be a better person to ask. Aqua, same tank, 7.5 gallons. I have a lot of Christmas. That one's a little harder to answer there, Aqua Balls. He's saying same tank, 7.5 gallon tank. I have a lot of Christmas moss and flame moss. Water parameters, TDS is 159, temperature 78. I got aqua soil, low light. I see my moss terrain turn little yellow. Do I dose iron and nutritions? I figure why it's growing yellow. Should be okay in low light. I don't know what you mean by low light. That's important. That's the other thing. I checked the hardness of your water. If it's turning yellow, hardness of your water. Not enough could also mean not enough lighting. So I don't know how much low light you have. Iron is not going to help yellow. You're saying turning yellow as in dying or as in the color turning yellow? Like, does it look like it's dying and that's why it's turning yellow? Or just because it's just turning yellow? If it's just turning yellow, then yeah, iron might help a little. So you could dose it, and it doesn't hurt to dose iron if you don't have tons of like livestock that's sensitive to iron. I don't think there is any. But you can also try, you can always try dosing iron. You know, get a small bottle of Seachem iron and dose it. But that's assuming if it's turning yellow. If it's turning yellow in the way that it's dying, it could be just dieback. That happens to all tanks that are establishing. Is it an established tank? I'm not sure. But a lot of people also miss, you know, checking the pH. Hard water, like a lot of plants don't do as well in hard water. So you gotta do some research on how well those mosses do. But you know, moss is very hardy, so it's very weird to see yellow moss. RO water. Okay, so it's not hard water, that's for sure. Light is too low intense. It could be. I don't know what. Did you get it off of? Did it come with the tank? Maybe. Those lights that come in the tank that says, you know, like planted tank lights. It's not really. It's horrible. Hey Sphinx, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, it sounds like Jessica is a guppy expert here. So she'd be a good person to ask about guppies. Color is yellow over. It could be the light. I mean, if extreme low light will, for any plant will die and go and turn yellow. Because if you watch my last video on the aquascape on the 20-gallon, pay attention to my Nubius and how yellow it was and dying back is because the stupid pearl weed was blocking out the lights over. I mean, literally, it was going over the Nubius. So if you look at that, you see the Nubius. If it looks something like that, then it's most likely light. Maybe it's not enough light. I mean, usually, well, you use Physidins, right? Or is it flame moss and Christmas moss? So you're doing a little more demanding moss. So maybe that's why. Maybe you do need to give it a little more light. Try putting a little more light on there. Because, what else do you have in your tank? What other plants do you have in your tank? Is it all just moss? Oh, your water is 6.8? That's fine. It's not hardness then. I think it's light. Okay. 10 weeks? Alright, let me put this up on here. No lights. So Sphinx says, about 10 weeks into dry start, Aqua Complete plus Osmo Coat. Haven't seen major growth with my HC plants. Were submerged when purchased. For 10 weeks though, it should be growing right now. What kind of light do you have on it? The only thing I could think of, light, not enough. Well, you have Osmo Coat Plus in it. Did you mix it in with the Aqua Complete? Or how are you dosing the Osmo Coat? It could be not enough nutrients and not enough light. That's the thing about doing dry start with a non-charged nutrient substrate. You have to dose the water that you're misting so the Aqua Complete could use it for your plants. Aquaball, Crypt Parva is doing good. Your Crypt Parva is doing good. If your Crypt Parva is doing way better than your moss, I think. Oh, how bad is the yellowing? You know what? You have to take a picture and let me see. I have to see a picture. Because if your Crypt is doing better, or just more better than your moss, then I don't think it's lighting. That's weird. You show me a picture. Take a picture, post it in the group. Let me know, or send it to me. IM it to me. So, what's Michael Van Pelt talking about? You have a planted 30. You're just telling us what you have. You're all good with the right plants. Okay. Alright. I was just making sure it wasn't a question. Yeah, Sphinx. That one I don't know. It's really hard. See, even if you bought your plant submerged when you first purchased, it's 10 weeks now. It should have already gone through the process. Ooh, how much for to dose dry start misting water? Ken, for that I don't know. For dry fert, see, that's an interesting question. I've never actually done it. I would have just used the all-in-one dry fert and mixed it, and then just kind of just dropped it into the misting water. But if you're talking about individually, oh, I don't know. You're gonna have to use like an online calculator and figure it all out. That's the best way to say it. I can't do it off my head right now. Sphinx says it is. You dropped a couple pellets. Oh, of Osmocote Plus. Don't do that. It's not gonna work. So Here, let me post this out. Okay, so you read a lot of people saying they didn't have a problem going AC with the stock light. Well, that's fine because you're dry starting it. But when you put it in the water, I don't know. It depends on how intense the just stock light is. I don't know what kind of stock light you have, so I'm not gonna say anything about that. OC is dosed by pellets. Distributed deep in the substrate, misting with flourish. Man, I personally, I don't like the dosing method you're using. Using flourish, comprehensive, and then dropping a couple pellets in your misting bottle. I don't think that's going to do much. Just the way the way that the pellets work. The pellets are made so that it slowly gives the plant the nutrients it needs, the roots for the plants. So doing it like that in your misting bottle probably it's not gonna do much. It's just gonna dissipate in your water too slow that it's just not gonna do much for it. If you mix the pellets into the substrate, that'd be a different story. And Flourish Comprehensive, I don't like Flourish Comprehensive. It's not comprehensive enough for me. I think it is a nutrient problem. I think. Just from what you're saying there, Sphinx. I would just get an all-in-one fert and try dosing the misting water and do it that way and see if it helps. I mean, you're 10 weeks in already, and you should have a nice lush carpet. If not, then I think the thing you're missing is the nutrient part of it. Get Simple Green. Not Simple Green. Oh, God, you're going to kill your plants with Simple Green. Get Easy Green. Get Plant Growth Juice. Or get Vital from H2O Plants. Plant Growth Juice from Dusty Fish Tank. Or Easy Green from Aquarium Co-op. Those are, all-in-one ferts. At least you're giving them something good. Not just Flourish Comprehensive that says they have everything they don't. Yeah, some kind of all-in-one fert. That's the best way of doing it, especially if you're doing something with a substrate that doesn't have nutrients in it. Okay, because I don't know. I just don't think that the whole Osmocote dropping the pellets in there will do much for your misting bottle. And I'm definitely not into the Flourish bottles from Seachem. That's none of that's my. I think that's just all marketing hype because that's just not enough nutrients for your plants. But I could be wrong. It just one of the things I just couldn't do, and I couldn't justify spending that much money on any of their Seachem lines of dosing plants, just dosing plants, other than the iron, because there's just easier and cheaper ways to do it. Yeah, but that's my suggestion on that. I think that's what's going on there in your tank. 10 weeks you should be booming. Well, Nubius not on Java ferns. They're easy plants to grow. They could survive on the minor nutrients. AC is a different story. Ha! That's nice. Nubius into 3 segments already from just a baby. That is very cool. Well, that's good. At least those are growing. But then again, you're looking at easy plants versus a more demanding plant. Okay. Again, won't know until I see a picture of your tank and see how well it's growing in. But do that. It is so hard to do it without pictures to see what's going on in your tank. But do that. Take a picture of it, post it in the Facebook group, and let's see if we can figure it out. But I really have a strong suspicion it's the nutrient problem. And again, you can't gauge it with how well your nanas are doing, your nana and Java ferns are doing, your Nubius and Java ferns are doing, versus how your AC is doing. Different type of plants. One's carpeting root plant. The other are rhizome plants that can be grown, out of the substrate. And second, you're talking about the demand that's needed for those two different plants are so vastly different. So, and you're messing with growing them immersed. Well, see, that's the thing. People are saying the tank was mid-80s, and this is also from whoever was, I forgot who was asking about the Monte Carlo, and asking about the Monte Carlo heat. Your tank was mid-80s, you heard AC like 75, but here's the thing, when I was doing my dry start, it was, the tank was, the inside of the tank, especially when it's enclosed, and then it was over like 80, 82 degrees in it, and you saw how well that grew. So I don't know about that, because I think that the temperature is the temperature requirements are different when you're growing plants outside of the water versus inside the water. Because when a plant starts growing inside of the water, their composition changes. Okay, because they have to adjust to take in CO2 from the water versus taking CO2 in the air. CO2 is so easy for them to get in the air, okay, and in the soil. Much harder when they're just immersed in water. Okay, so their composition changes. So if their composition changes on just the way they take in CO2 and nutrients and take in light, obviously the temperature's going to change too. So I don't know. That one, I don't know. Got to do more research, I guess. Look into it. I never thought to look into it. Now I have to look into it. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Yeah, post it on the Facebook group later, Sphinx. That would definitely help, so we'll know what's going on. Hey, Breakthrough. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the chat. We're just about to close up, so sorry. You got here in the last moment. But, yeah. Hey, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you liked the Aqua evaluation thing. So join the Facebook group. Talk to us there. I'm going to do more of those. I'll tell you guys on the Facebook group how to submit your tank to share and get advice on as well. I think that might work. I don't know. We just need people to not be afraid to submit them in. And I promise I'll be nice. And we're going to try to keep the chat nice about it too. Because, well, I just don't put up with haters anyway. So, yeah. Do you have to ship? Yeah. It depends on your tank. I mean, the soil you'll get, Breakthrough. Let me go ahead and post this in there. And before I go, I'll just answer this question really quick. And I don't know. I just like sitting here asking questions. I'm starting a soil tank. Do I have to sieve? For the soil I usually use, which is the Miracle Grow potting mix, organic, I have to sieve mine. Sieve through mine because it has big parts to it. It has wood and all that stuff in it. So if your soil that you're using has big pieces in it, sift through it. You definitely need to. Or if you're getting it from your garden, you definitely should sift through it so that it gets rid of the big organic stuff. You want the organic stuff not to be the big pieces because those things will rot and then cause ammonia spikes in your tank. It could. Most likely will. Okay, dying wood, just rotting away like that, and you have too much of it in your tank could be detrimental to it. So, sift through it if you notice there's big pieces in the soil you're buying. If there isn't, you should be okay. Yeah, Aqua Balls, go ahead and send me a picture on the Facebook Messenger. And Jessica and King Brandon get together, talk a little bit more about your guppies. Do it in the Facebook group. We'd love to see that. That'd be good. Don't be nervous about showing your tanks here, guys. Again, it's all about sharing, and I like to share, and I like to make sure that we keep sharing. So, yeah, sometimes we might get haters in the chat, but that's why I have mods. The mods will keep you guys safe. I bought a organic soil. Does it contain beneficial bacteria? Beneficial bacteria to what? It contains tons and tons of nutrients for your plants, if that's what you mean. Yes, it does have that. If you're talking about beneficial bacteria for your filter, no. Your filter is going to have to kind of grow that. How do you show you my tank? Well, Michael, make sure you join the Facebook group, and I'll let you guys know, because I think I'm going to build an app so that you guys can submit it. and that way in the next live chat I could go through it. It's already presented there. Because the way I was doing it was kind of like a lot of cutting and pasting, so I was kind of boof. So yeah, join the Facebook group, and I'll post it there. I'll let you guys know. To cycle, break through the cycle. No, it does have ammonia. This is what I love about it. It does have ammonia, most likely. Okay, a lot of ammonia. So when you first, put your plant, your soil tank together and set it up, it's gonna have an ammonia spike. Watch my video on setting up a soil tank. Okay, first of all, I explain everything, but organic soil will have ammonia in it. It will spike, and that's a good thing because you just leave it alone. You have the ammonia to jumpstart the cycling process. So you don't have to put live fish in it. You don't have to use any snake oil gimmicky thing from some fish tank company or aquarium company that promise you, fast cycles. You have ammonia in there. Just leave it alone. Let it cycle, and it'll help you build. It'll help you cycle the filter and build the tank, and the ammonia will go away after a few weeks. So yes, in that case, yes, in that sense, it does have ammonia in it. It does have beneficial bacteria, but it has ammonia in it to build the beneficial bacteria in your tank or in your filter. Brian G. Oh my God, you guys keep asking questions. That's so cool. No problem. I'll answer how I was supposed to go. But I think these are important. Brian G, should I add Osmocote and clay to the dirt tank, or would that be too much? Clay, yes. Osmocote Plus, don't need it. Don't worry about Osmocote Plus if you're doing a dirted tank. The soil should have tons of nutrients in it. It should last you for a few years. Okay, you only need Osmocote Plus when that nutrient runs out. Okay, and that won't be again for a few years. Clay always helps, gives you iron. So either you can get the mix and potting clay that I showed on my video. You could use old school kitty litter, nothing scented or anything like that. Just old school kitty litter will work great. You can mix it in with the soil. But yeah, any type of clays, those natural type of clays will add iron and give iron to your plants. So you brought ammonia drips for no reasons. Well, you got ammonia drips now, but yeah, if you're doing a soil tank, sorry to say breakthrough, you're doing a soil tank, it already has ammonia spike in it. Just to be sure though, once you set it up, do a test on your ammonia and see how much is in there. Okay, because I don't know what kind of soil you're using. It could be soil that just is depleted of nutrients, but I don't know what soil you're using. So, but yeah, if you bought ammonia dip and you have soil that has ammonias in it already, that's going to ammonia spike your tank, then yeah, you did buy it for no reason. I don't think there'll be any other reasons for using ammonia dips other than setting up new tanks in the future that's not dirted. Okay, but just in case, once you set up your tank, make sure that you do have ammonia, that the substrate is leaching ammonia into your tank. Then you won't need the ammonia drips. I mean, it could be still helpful. You might not get that big of ammonia leach because you want to keep 5 ppms of ammonia every day in your tank while it's cycling. Okay, so maybe you get like 2 ppms from the soil itself, so you have ammonia to drop in and keep it at 5. But in my experience, the soil I use, the organic Miracle-Gro, really adds a lot of ammonia into the tank, more than 5 ppms. Well, about 5 ppm, so I don't have a need for ammonia drips. But which, by the way, breakthrough, I do have my own bottles of ammonia drips. I just have it on hand for anything that I might need it for, because ammonia doesn't really have a shelf life, I don't think. Great, Brian G, glad it helped. You sure am saving a couple of bucks. A breakthrough. I'm starting a slight acidic Amazon biotype. What plants do I recommend? Anything that's hardy. We've been through this with Jessica early in the chat. Oh no, I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. Slightly acidic Amazon biotype, so it'd be soft water. A lot of plants could handle soft. In my opinion, a lot softer plants, softer water really grows plants so much more easier. So what plants do I recommend for Amazon biotype? Crenums, vows, Amazon swords, Amazon swords. That's what I would go for to make it look Amazonian. Java ferns, your typical Java ferns, Anubias. They'll make it look good. Just I would put a lot. I would use a sand substrate or sand cap if you're doing soil. Tons of driftwood, less rocks. Tons of driftwood, and big, like big plants like Amazon sword or jungle vows or crenums and stuff like that. Java ferns, the stuff that are very leafy. That'll look very nice as an Amazon biotype. But again, go on Amazon, go on Google and just look up Amazon biotypes. Get a lot of ideas off of Google that way. What's my favorite type of inert rocks? As in for decorations or for substrates? Yeah, I love the questions too today, Suzuki. That's right, and thanks for hanging around. Cause usually you have to take off because you have something to do, but that's really cool. Love seeing you here, Suzuki. Q Aquatics, check out her channel. She's becoming quite the pond lady. She's doing a lot of pond videos, so worth checking out. So make sure you check out Suzy Aquatics channel. Give you that plug there. And yeah, favorite type of inert rocks, decor. Okay, Suru rocks, dragonstone. Only because that's the type of thing I like to aquascape with. I have this vision of doing an Arizona desert type of thing that I think kind of like how Aquapro did his, but mine's more going to be the rock thing. So a lot of petrified wood I want to start using, or that other rock that looks like petrified wood. I forgot what it's called. But mostly the aquascapes I tend to do are a lot of dragonstones and a lot of cereal rocks. Seriously? It's been 3 years today since Takashi Yamano passed away? Like, to this day? That's interesting. I did not know that. I don't know if it's to this day. I don't know if Mike's saying that. He's saying it's been over 3 years today since Amano passed away. Hey, take care, Martin K. Good to see you. And I'm supposed to go anyways. I'm getting hungry. Yes, Rotala and Java Fern. Definitely. Rotala, for an Amazonian biotype, might not fit. Java Fern fits. I don't know. I mean, get ideas from and Google it. Google Amazon biotype and see what looks good. In my opinion, I probably wouldn't use Rotala. Again, it really depends on what you're trying to do. You know, that I think that's the baseline of everything. You know, what are you trying to do, right? So, George posted about it earlier. Wow. So this stream, guys, is dedicated to Amano. One of my awesome heroes in this whole hobby, anyways. Takashi Amano. We lost the legend. Okay, enough about that. It's getting depressing. You should start a fish multiplication project. What do you mean, like in breeding fish? I'm not a fish breeder. That's not really my interest in the aquarium hobby. It's mostly planted tanks and reef tanks. So that's what it's more about for me. The plants and the corals and stuff. Less about the fish, in a way. Depends on the fish. So, yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the echo. I'll try to figure out what's causing it. But, you know, this stupid OBS software always changes things. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I love you guys. Stay wet with your tanks and have fun. I will see you guys next week. And remember, join the Facebook group if you want more discussions and stuff about aquariums. All right. Take care, guys. Love you.